Part 1. It's the quietest time of the night. The house is still. The world outside is sleeping. And then, your eyes just pop open. You look at the clock, and yep, there it is again. 3 a.m. Or maybe 2:45 or 3:15. Somewhere in that dreaded early morning window. And you're wide awake. Your mind starts to race. Maybe about the day ahead. Maybe about something from yesterday. Or sometimes, about absolutely nothing at all. Which is somehow even more frustrating. You toss and turn, willing yourself back to sleep. But it feels impossible. This isn't just a one-off occurrence. It happens night after night, leaving you tired, groggy, and wondering what on earth is going on. You might have tried everything you can think of. A warm bath, reading, avoiding screens. But still, that 3 a.m. wake-up call persists. It feels like your body has its own agenda, completely ignoring how desperately you need your rest. You might think it's just a normal part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if the answer to why this keeps happening is much simpler, and maybe even a little surprising? Something you haven't considered before in this video. We're going to uncover some often overlooked reasons why you might be waking up at that exact time. And more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Some of these might truly shock you, changing the way you think about your sleep altogether. Stick with me until the very end, because I'll share something that could make a significant difference, and it might just surprise you. Part 2. So, let's really dig into why this frustrating 3 a.m. wake-up call keeps happening. You see, as we get a little older, our sleep patterns do change. That's true. We tend to spend less time in the deep, restorative stages of sleep and more time in lighter sleep. This makes us more susceptible to waking up. But just saying it's age isn't the whole story. Not by a long shot. There are often specific, hidden triggers that are flipping that switch on at 3 a.m. And once you understand them, you can start to address them. One of the biggest culprits, and something many people don't realize is affecting them, is your blood sugar. Now, stay with me. You don't have to be diabetic for this to be an issue. Think about what you ate or drank in the evening. If you had a dinner that was high in refined carbohydrates or sugar, or maybe enjoyed a sweet treat or a sugary drink later in the evening, your blood sugar might spike and then, several hours later, crash. This crash often happens in the early morning hours, like around 3 a.m., when your blood sugar drops too low overnight. Your body's natural stress response kicks in. It releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol to try and raise your blood sugar back up. These are the same hormones that give you a jolt when you're stressed or scared. And guess what they do? They wake you up. Heart pounding, sometimes feeling a little anxious or even shaky. You're suddenly wide awake, and it feels impossible to drift back off because your body is in this mild state of alert. So, the innocent biscuit with your evening tea or a big bowl of pasta for dinner could be setting you up for that 3 a.m. rendezvous with the ceiling. What can you do about this potential blood sugar roller coaster? It's not about rigid dieting, but about mindful eating in the evening. Focus on a balanced dinner that includes protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates like vegetables or whole grains, rather than lots of white bread, pasta, or sugary foods. If you need a snack in the evening, choose something small and balanced, like a few nuts, a piece of cheese, or a small amount of Greek yogurt. This helps keep your blood sugar more stable throughout the night, preventing those sharp drops that can trigger the stress hormones and wake you up. Avoiding sugary drinks and excessive caffeine in the late afternoon and evening is also crucial, as they can disrupt sleep cycles and blood sugar stability. It's a simple change, really. Focusing on nutrient-dense foods for your evening meal and snacks. But the impact on preventing that 3 a.m. wake-up can be surprisingly significant. Another frequent, and often ignored, reason is the timing of your last drink of the day, especially alcohol or even just water. We all know that needing to use the bathroom in the middle of the night is a common reason for waking up. But sometimes, it's not just that. You drank. But when you drank, having a large glass of water right before bed or sipping on drinks throughout the evening, especially if you're prone to getting up at night, guarantees a bladder alarm clock will go off right around 3 a.m. Alcohol is a double whammy. While it might make you feel sleepy initially, it disrupts your sleep architecture later in the night. As your body processes the alcohol, it causes lighter, more fragmented sleep and often triggers a need to urinate. So, that glass of wine or beer with dinner, or worse, closer to bedtime, is very likely contributing to your early morning wake-up call. To tackle this, try to front-load your fluid intake earlier in the day. Make sure you're well hydrated throughout the morning and afternoon, but start to taper off your drinking a couple of hours before you plan to go to bed. This doesn't mean dehydrating yourself, just being smart about the timing. For alcohol, consider finishing your last drink several hours before bedtime. Or, better yet, see if cutting it out entirely for a while makes a difference to your sleep. Many people are astonished at how much better they sleep when they eliminate alcohol from their evenings. These might seem like obvious points, but the exact timing is often the missing piece of the puzzle for that consistent 3 a.m. wake-up. Part 3. Moving on from what we're putting into our bodies, let's think about what's going on inside our minds and bodies. Sometimes, that 3 a.m. wake-up is driven by internal discomfort or signals that we might not immediately connect to sleep. One significant factor can be pain or physical discomfort. As we age, aches and pains become more common, whether it's arthritis, a bad back, or joint pain. While you might manage the pain during the day with medication or activity, its effect can change overnight. Lying in the same position for hours can cause stiffness and increased discomfort, eventually becoming significant enough to pull you out of a lighter stage of sleep right around that 3 a.m. mark. You might wake up feeling a bit stiff or sore, and even if you don't consciously register it as severe pain, that underlying physical signal is enough to disrupt your sleep. It's your body saying, "Hey, something isn't quite right here." And it prevents you from sinking back into deeper sleep. Addressing this involves looking at your pain management strategy. Even if you think your pain is mild, are you taking medication at the right time? Could a slow-release pain reliever be more effective overnight? It's worth discussing this with your doctor. Simple things can also make a big difference, like ensuring you have a supportive mattress and pillows. Sometimes just changing your sleep position or using extra pillows to support joints can alleviate pressure points that build up overnight. Gentle stretching or movement before bed might also help. Ignoring even mild nighttime discomfort could be the key to your persistent 3 a.m. awakenings. It's not just about daytime pain relief. It's about ensuring comfort lasts throughout the night. Another powerful trigger is anxiety and worry. This is a huge one for many people, and it often peaks in the quiet hours of the night when distractions are gone. You crawl into bed, and your mind is relatively quiet. But then, sometime in the early morning, perhaps coinciding with natural dips and rises in cortisol levels, your brain decides it's the perfect time to start rehashing everything worries about finances, family, health, or just a general sense of unease. This isn't necessarily clinical anxiety, but the everyday stresses and concerns of life. Waking up at 3 a.m. with your mind suddenly buzzing with thoughts is incredibly common. It's a vicious cycle. You wake up. You start worrying about being awake, which makes you more anxious, which makes it harder to fall back asleep. That particular time, 3 a.m., seems to be a vulnerable period for this kind of mental activation. So, what can help quiet the worried mind at 3 a.m.? Prevention is key. Developing a winding down routine before bed that specifically addresses mental clutter can be very effective. This could involve journaling for 15-20 minutes, a few hours before sleep. Writing down whatever is on your mind, worries, tasks, ideas. The act of getting it out of your head and onto paper can reduce its power to keep you awake later. Practicing mindfulness or meditation, even for just a few minutes a day, can train your brain to observe thoughts without getting caught up in them. If you do wake up at 3 a.m. with your mind racing, avoid just lying there getting frustrated. Get out of bed after 15 to 20 minutes if you can't fall back asleep. Go to another room, keep the lights dim, and do something quiet and non-stimulating, like reading a physical book or listening to calm music or a podcast at a low volume. The key is to break the association between your bed and being wide awake and anxious. Don't check emails, social media, or watch stimulating TV. These will only make it worse. Return to bed only when you feel genuinely sleepy again. Consistently practicing a pre-sleep mental wind down and having a plan for when you do wake up can help reclaim your nights. Another surprising element is your environment, specifically light and temperature. Our bodies are incredibly sensitive to light, which plays a crucial role in regulating our internal body clock, our circadian rhythm. Even a small amount of light in your bedroom, from a street lamp, a digital clock, or light filtering under a door, can be enough to disrupt your sleep, especially in the lighter stages we experience in the early morning. That 3 a.m. wake-up might be perfectly timed with the subtle shift in light outside, or even just enough light pollution entering your window. Similarly, bedroom temperature is critical. If your room gets too warm or too cold overnight, it can pull you out of sleep. Our core body temperature naturally dips during sleep, and an environment that fights against this dip can cause awakenings. Simple solutions here involve making your bedroom a true sleep sanctuary. Invest in blackout curtains or blinds to make the room as dark as possible. Cover up any glowing lights from electronics. Ensure the temperature is comfortably cool. Generally, experts recommend between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, 19 degrees Celsius, though find what works best for you. Good ventilation can also help. These seemingly small environmental factors can have a powerful impact on the quality and continuity of your sleep, preventing those premature morning awakenings. Part 4. So, we've talked about a few key areas that could be the hidden culprits behind your 3 a.m. wake-up calls: managing evening blood sugar by choosing balanced foods, being mindful of the timing of your fluid and alcohol intake, addressing underlying physical discomfort or pain, calming the anxious mind with pre-sleep routines and a plan for night awakenings, and optimizing your bedroom environment for darkness and temperature. It's easy to blame age, but often, it's these specific, actionable factors that are the real drivers. Remember, sleep isn't something you can force. It's something you create the conditions for. It's about understanding the subtle signals your body and mind are sending and making small adjustments to support your natural sleep rhythm. You don't have to tackle everything at once. Maybe start by paying closer attention to your evening eating and drinking habits for a week. See if making those small changes has any impact on that 3 a.m. wake-up time. Then, perhaps focus on your pre-sleep routine to quiet your mind, or make sure your bedroom is as dark and cool as it can be. Small, consistent steps are far more effective than drastic, unsustainable changes. It's empowering to realize that you have more control over your sleep than you might think. That persistent 3 a.m. awakening isn't necessarily a life sentence. By addressing things like evening nutrition, hydration timing, managing discomfort, practicing mental relaxation, and creating a good sleep environment, you are actively working with your body to encourage longer, more restorative sleep. Think of it as fine-tuning your nighttime routine based on how your body actually works, especially as it changes over time. If you've tried some of these things and are still struggling, or if you have underlying health conditions or take medications, it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor. They can help rule out other medical reasons for sleep disturbances and advise on medication timing if needed. Don't hesitate to seek professional guidance if sleep continues to be a significant problem. Your doctor can be a great partner in figuring this out. Ultimately, getting better sleep is about improving your overall well-being. When you sleep better, you have more energy, your mood is better, your memory is sharper, and you feel more capable of enjoying life. That frustrating 3 a.m. wake-up doesn't have to dictate your days. by understanding the potential reasons and taking gentle, consistent action. You can absolutely improve your nights and wake up feeling more rested and ready to go. I really hope this has given you some new things to think about and some practical steps you can try. We're all on this journey of living our best lives at every age, and good sleep is such a fundamental part of that. I'd love to hear if any of these potential reasons resonated with you, or if you've found something else that has helped you overcome the 3 a.m. wake-up. Share your experiences and tips in the comments below. Your insights could help someone else who is struggling with the same thing. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up so more people who are dealing with this frustrating issue can find it. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. I share videos every week with tips and information aimed at helping you live a vibrant, healthy, and happy life in your best years. Clicking that subscribe button and the notification bell means you won't miss out on future videos that could offer just the solution you're looking for. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, small changes truly can make a big difference to your health and happiness. Keep exploring, keep trying new things, and keep taking care of yourself. You deserve to sleep well and live your best life, full of energy and joy. At every age,